So in class, in 10th grade history, world history, we are talking about slavery and the Revolutionary War and all that great stuff. Fun times. But I hardly ever see people mention this slave trade. We're always talking about Columbus, and because he's relevant, especially in today's world, but not this slave trade, which, if you just read a little bit about this trade, you can tell that this trade is a lot more dangerous, a lot more serious, and the thing is, it's still going on today, which is an issue, because we're not talking about this slave trade, we're just talking about the slave trade that ended hundreds of years ago. Why is that? When this slave trade is literally killing millions, but the slave trade that we're talking about, it is already gone. It's not a thing anymore. Which is stupid, but nonetheless, as we all know, the slave trade, the Atlantic slave trade, thanks to the teachers there who teach us this, people who continuously go over these lessons like we've never heard them before. The thing is, that was not the only slave trade. There was another slave trade that holds a number to the number of Russians who died in World War II, which were around 25 million. And that's just a low estimation. But it outdoes Russia's 2.5 deaths versus Germany in World War I. This slave trade also outdoes the Americans, the British, and the Canadians, the Germans, and the deaths in Iraq, which is very, very unfortunate. Well, maybe not Iraq, but Iraq, the war we have currently, War on Terror, we have lost around 4.4k people over the seas. That is just in Iraq. That is very, very unfortunate. And that is not including the wounded. It also outdoes the Vietnam deaths, which were around 58k. The Canadians, the British, the German, and the Americans made up 170, 30k, 170k, 30k, 4.3k mil, and 77k, 770, whatever. And we're not talking about this slave trade, which is very unfortunate. We're talking about the American Revolution, which in total had around 2,400 deaths. Or the Afghanistan War, which had 2,300 deaths. This single slave trade outdoes the Americans, the British, the Canadians, the Germans, Iraq's death, Most of the deaths in World War II, Vietnam, American Revolution, Afghanistan combined, there is an issue. However, if you put the Holocaust, which had 11 million, then you will hit the mark at 17.8 million, which is every other, the Americans, the British, and all those others combined with the Holocaust, which is very sad that it takes all of these. No one talks about this. Why? This is an issue. This slave trade is the Arab slave trade. It hits a massive 14.5 to 17 million reported deaths. And we are not talking about this slave trade. We're not even really... We're shutting a blind eye to it. We're not really caring about it or anything like that, which is very unfortunate. It just bothers me how this single slave trade has outdone entire wars and battles where we, as Americans and Canadians and French and British, turn a blind eye to what Africans have to go through, which is very unfortunate, but you can't please everyone, can you? Thanks for watching. I hope someone gets something out of this. This may not be the most dedicated video to this, but I just want to put this on my channel. And I want to spread the word. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this boost of knowledge, I guess. Later.